Assalamu alaikum. May peace be upon all of you, my fellow learners, professionals, and ACCA students. In this video, we are going to touch on a theoretical aspect that is very important from the first chapter and something that I feel like is undervalued. So let's take a look. The changing role of the management accountant. Because if you look at most of the ACCA questions in your paper, they approach the question from this angle, from the angle of testing whether you have this understanding that your job role as a management accountant is now different than how it used to be in the legacy days, in the classical days. The first concept we are going to look at is strategic management accounting. This is a form of management accounting which aims to improve and provide information that is relevant to the process of strategic planning and control. The focus is on both external and internal information and non-financial as well as financial factors. This is why, especially in section A, when you look at your question, the question tests your ability to deal with both external and internal and financial and non-financial information, because this is the kind of management accounting you are involved in. The strategic management accountant plays a key role in performance management, helping to determine the financial implications of an organization's activities and decisions, and in ensuring that these activities are focused on shareholders' needs for profit. So yes, for private organizations, profit is still the motive. The shareholders want profits, but the role of the management accountant, right, the role of the performance manager is oriented in dealing with all those different types of information toward handling that information, managing that information toward achieving that primary objective of wealth maximization, which nowadays translates to value. So your syllabus says the role of the management accountant historically was a role limited to implementation stage. For example, like you were responsible for operational budgeting and control, and the focus was heavily on internal factors and financial information, and the focus was on the past. But now, today, your questions, your paper, it is a strategic role providing information on financial aspects of strategic planning. For example, even you look at data like competitors, information like costs. Basically, you use internal and external information both, and you get to monitor performance in financial and non-financial terms. Balance scorecard, non-financial KPIs, performance pyramid. We look at non-financial indicators, chapter 11. And your focus is futuristic, not historical, but futuristic. This is how the role is translated. Now, Burns and Scappens did a study on this change, and they identified that the role has changed focus from financial control. Earlier, it used to be financial control, budgetary control, variance analysis, etc. But now it's business support, making the management accountant more of a generalist who is involved in all the spheres, all the aspects of the company. This new role has been called a hybrid accountant, since the management accountant has valuable information of both accounting and operational and commercial knowledge. Today, accountants do not necessarily work in separate accounting departments, but may be fully integrated into other departments, thus playing a key part in the operations and decision-making process of the department. So a hybrid accountant who is more focused on business support than financial control. What are the different example tasks that a management accountant does? Right now, I know that as ACCA students, you might not actually be focused heavily on becoming a management accountant, but trust me, it's fun. Some example tasks, right? You get to inform strategic decisions and formulate business strategy. You get to lead the organization's risk management aspect. You ensure the efficient use of financials and other types of resources. You get to advise on ways of improving business performance. You liaise with other managers to put the finance view in context. You train functional and business managers in budget management. You identify the implications of product and service changes. You work in cross-functional teams, right? That is teams that function work across multiple functions, right? That team has members from different functions. You get to work in such teams and get involved in strategic planning on new product development. These are some example tasks that the new management accountant has to do. Now, this leads us to a very important concept, in fact, directly even tested in the paper. What are the driving forces for change? There are three: management structure, technology, and competition. Basically, as a company is changing, or rather, if you want your company to change, the key driving forces or the key drivers that will lead this change, that will shape the change, are these three factors: your management structure, your technology, and your competition. Management accountants, in terms of structure, may now provide a link. They connect between the operational reports, the financial consequences, and the desired strategic outcomes of the board. Technology is important. Today, we are beyond just talking about advanced technology. We are talking about disruptive technology. So all the new additions that have been made to the syllabus with respect to chapter 5, all these new technologies they are discussing, blockchain, process automation, big data, all of that are disruptive technology that is driving change. Competition. The competitive environment has driven organizations to take a more strategic focus. Management accountants focus on a number of measures which try to capture long-term performance instead of bottom line only. That leads me to this very important concept, because ultimately this is where the questions arise from. Performance management. The name of your subject is also performance management. From an organization's perspective, the accountant will be a guide to the strategic business unit manager to ensure that strategic goals are reflected in performance management. So basically, in the KPI, CSF identification, in developing the performance management dashboard and the reports, you have to ensure that the strategic goals are what is reflected. Your KPIs have to measure things that are important and will help your company lead itself to achieve these strategic goals. The management accountant will take a supporting role in assisting strategic business unit managers in getting the most from their management information system. This will entail the accountant understanding the needs of the particular manager and then working with them to extract valuable reports from the MIS. And the management accountant can develop a range of performance measures to capture the different factors that will drive its success. So essentially, in the way you write your answers, you have to have this understanding embedded in your subconscious, that you write answers that capture the 360-degree angle, that capture the internal implications and the external implications, that capture the financial requirements and the non-financial requirements. That is where your answer will be complete. That is where the way you deal with performance, because you cannot really talk about performance, especially in APM, purely in financial terms, purely in numerical terms. That is not what performance translates to. That is why it is very important to understand the new role of a management accountant today. On that note, this particular piece is wrapped up. I hope that now, while theoretically looking at this is sure, you read it, you understand it. But now I hope that you're very clear on why this is important. Why knowing this, being aware of it, and having it embedded is important. This is ACCA's APM with AZB, just a support video that I hope will help you orient yourself properly toward the right direction in approaching APM. If you're interested in joining and working with me, getting the writing training, you can check out the link in the description and get details. Also write to me to my email address, which again you can find in the description section, and inquire. Join my batches which are currently ongoing for September and December 2021. My approach is a very personalized coaching and training model, which kind of guarantees your pass. So we work together, we ensure you get what you need, you train yourself in the writing aspect mainly and heavily, and then you pass and you move on. That's my approach. Thank you so much for watching. May peace be upon all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.